in their face, they never smile. There's not one single family that has not lost a member of their family. They always have a story to say in terms of women being raped or a young boy would be just snatched from his house and never been able to see it again. And this kind of torture has constantly happened, and it is on a daily basis.
Timor is a land of crosses, crosses etched against the sky, crosses on peaks, crosses on hillsides. This is the grave of just one family, all killed on the same day.
The people in East Timor themselves call it, and we call it, the biggest prison island in the world. That is what it is. It's a hell.
Can you give me an idea of what it was like to grow up in East Timor in those years before the invasion?
Well, it was typical island life in which people live very happily, in a friendly, people go about their business without worrying about authorities or guns. Even though we were ruled by a foreign power, which was Portuguese then, but Portuguese very much left people alone in the traditional lives. They didn't do what Indonesia have done in the last 18 years.
Not once, ever, in all my adult life, I witnessed a racial incident. So East Timor was, in fact, under the Portuguese, was a relatively happy country. The Portuguese also had a benign attitude towards the East Timorese. You might describe it benign neglect. I would say they treated the people reasonably. They never interfere with the people in the mountains, not so much maybe out of his intellectual, anthropological understanding of native culture, but largely because of the Portuguese very Mediterranean laziness, neglect, laissez-faire. So the people were quite happy in the mountains.
Here lies the ruins of the Portuguese Empire in Timor. The Indonesian regime has sought to justify its occupation of this country on grounds of what it calls common brotherhood. In fact, the East Timorese have virtually nothing in common with Indonesia. They have a different language and culture, and whereas Indonesia is the largest Muslim country in the world, the East Timorese are Catholic and animist. Even their colonial experience was different, with the Portuguese Latinizing East Timor and setting it distinctly apart from the experiences of the Dutch colonies that became Indonesia. Of course, some things never change, like the propaganda of naked aggression.